This is episode 20 of the Growth Tigers podcast. Welcome to episode 20 of the Growth Tigers podcast, and welcome to the very first episode in the Year of the Rooster. This week, we talked to the gentleman behind FinGo and its parent company, Finology, which is based in the Czech Republic. If you've ever had to look for information on credit cards or debit cards, you'll definitely appreciate their approach. They take all the information from all the banks that offer credit card and debit cards, and they make it more accessible. For Vietnam, this is a very necessary product. So I think it's very interesting. They have a great approach, and I think they also have a very long-term approach. So it's a good episode if you are in the financial services industry, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know. Okay, everyone, welcome again to the next episode of the Growth Tigers podcast. I'm Brian Kyler. I'm your host, and I'm sitting here today at the Circo co-working space once again with Jacob and Nugi from FinGo and Finology, the parent company. So this is a new company here in Vietnam, and we're going to learn a little bit more about what they do and how they have a unique offering. So first of all, Jacob, can you give us a really brief background about what is Finology?
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for listening to this podcast. Basically, what Finology is about. Finology is a technological and know-how company which has built a unique software platform for selling financial products. But it's not only about the sale itself, but it's about an online generation of leads through our price comparison website, where we have fine-tuned over the several years the user experience so that it's very easy to use. From the online comparison website, we get the leads into a CRM where we process the leads, we nurture them, we contact the clients, verify their interest, and if the interest is valid, then we send such interest to a sales network through our leads marketplace solution. What's unique about this sales funnel, because you might think that this is a sales funnel which is quite common or quite usual. What is very unique about Finology is that we have made this so streamlined and we have made this so connected that we are very effective and very fast in gathering the online demand and getting it to the right sales agent. So the usual lead time when this happens is 10 minutes. And this is basically the major, let's say, competitive advantage against others who are doing a similar thing, because many people, especially here in Vietnam, are telling us, online leads are good, but, the conversion rates on them are very low, and, it's not worth it investing into PPC marketing because you can't generate enough customers from that. Well, the key thing is that if you're able to get the client to his sales agent within minutes instead of days, then your conversion rates are, dramatically increasing. So basically, from the time somebody says, well, I would like to get a credit card. So you start Googling on credit cards, you get to FinGo, you compare the credit cards. In 2 or 3 minutes, somebody from our call center contacts you, asks you several simple questions just to verify your interest. And if you're interested to get a credit card, he tells you, okay, so I will send you to a sales agent who can close the sale with you. The call center agent sends this lead to a mobile application which the agent has. The agent takes over the lead, and he gets in touch with the client, and within 24 hours, he can have an application filled for the credit card. So the speed in which we process the lead is the biggest advantage, and it's something that basically you simply can't do without a proper technological background. So that's basically what Finology is about. It's not only about generating the online demand. There's another part of the platform which takes care of commission processing and distribution, because many traditional players in this field in Vietnam, as we've learned, have been focusing in the past on distribution only, single bank or single product, while our focus is to meet the customer demand the best and meet his profile the best. So for that, we have to sell multiple banks and multiple products. For some client, a product from bank number 1 is more suitable than from bank number 2. And, so basically through combining multiple products, we are becoming more effective, also more customer friendly. And, but to do this, you have to have again, quite a robust system which can process the commissions that you receive from the banks for selling their products, because each of the bank has different commission schemes, different commission structures. You have to set this up to the system. You have to know which agent deserves which commission, and if there is any clawbacks on the commission because of a missale, then you need to know which agent you can take the commission from, etc., etc.
Okay, so it sounds like the technology behind Finology is quite complex and based off a lot of expertise in this funnel, in this area. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So where is Finology from?
Finology is from the Czech Republic.
Okay.
And basically the way this whole thing started was that 7-8 years ago, a few guys started a price comparison website for financial products in the Czech Republic. It became very popular over the years, and later on, this purely online player also joined with or merged with a financial brokers network, and they've basically joined to make the sales funnel complete, so that basically the original online oriented company, when they generate the leads, they nurture them, they have a network to then execute on the sale. But it was built on bits and pieces of technology, which wasn't really transferable elsewhere. So 2.5 years ago, when I joined the company, we decided to basically separate the technology division into a separate company, which we call Finology now. And basically Finology's main mission was to build up this platform on this know-how on a greenfield, so that the platform is transferable anywhere in the world and can be rolled out within a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. And is Vietnam the first place you've done this?
And Vietnam is the first Asian experience we are having.
Okay. Is Finology working in other countries?
Finology has some projects in other countries which are now in development phase, which I can't talk about anymore, to be honest. But yes, Finology is running multiple projects in Europe.
In Europe. Okay. Yeah. So Vietnam is not only your first Asian experience, but it seems to be the most developed as well, because it's already running.
It is the first which is up and running, and it's the first which is actually already operating, generating sales, and working in general.
All right, fantastic. So, Nugi, we're going to switch over to you here and talk more specifically about Vietnam.
Okay.
All right. You're the director of sales and marketing for...
Yes,
correctly. And the company in Vietnam is under FinGo. Is that right? So we can go to fingo.vn and find out about it.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I'm a consumer in Vietnam, what exactly is the product that I see?
Well, the product that you're seeing, it's that if you're going to look at the Vietnamese market or financial market, it's very complex and very chaotic. There's almost 40 banks here, plus a few of the financial institutions, some insurance houses. And our goal is to create a website where all those banks and all those institutions are going to be at one place. So if you're going to imagine it that, for example, you're going to supermarket, everything is going to be separated into categories. So you'll find easily the product you're looking for. So that's basically what we're trying to do, and the goal we're trying to reach, to put all the banks at one place so they can compare all their products and see what's the best or most suitable option for them.
Okay. And what information do you need to help decide what might be the most suitable product?
Usually, what we had an experience before, that we only demand like very simple information from client, because as every consumer at the beginning, if you overwhelm them with required information, they usually leave the website. So we only put 2 free information, so email, phone, and the demanded amount or like product they want, and also their salary. Why those information? Because since we are connected to the technology, we would like to contact them later. So basically, they put those information in, and based on that information, they got to see what products suits them the most. And after they choose the product, one of those products, and click on it, they can actually continue to the next step, or they can just have a look and leave after that. And after that, the contact or the lead, which is generated from the website, goes to our platform, to our call center, and the call center person can see what product the person saw, what are the requirements, and call back the person after, let's say, 5 or 10 minutes when he left the website. So usually like 5 or 10 minutes after you see the website, you still have it in your head. So when the call center asks you, hey, are you still interested in the product or this? I saw that you were viewing this credit card. Do you have any questions, or would you like to meet someone personally to discuss? And if the person says yes, then the call center pushes to the sales agent network, and then someone from the sales agent network takes it and meet directly with the person.
Okay. When did you launch?
We entered Vietnam in September, but we launched in November. Okay. So now we have let's say first pilot months.
And can you talk about what your traction is during those pilot months?
Well, Vietnam is a very complicated market. So At the beginning, we spent a lot of time on researching like how to target the marketing, how to do the campaigns, what channels we have to use. So the first ones were almost about testing, and we're still somehow figuring out what is the best solution, since we don't want to be like others or other companies which are doing. So the traction now, it's there are some like good numbers, but we're still not there at the suitable goal which we want to do.
But you have people going through the system.
Yes.
If I could comment on this, what surprised me the most is when I was looking at the first results, several things. First of all, the price to generate the lead is at this moment 5 times lower than we expected, which is a good sign. It's even good to be true. I'm slightly let's say realistic in terms of once we basically increase the volumes, this will obviously go up. But let's say the start of the operation was very good in this sense, because obviously every dollar cent spent on generating the traffic to the website, then in the funnel makes a lot of money. So this is first positive thing. Second positive thing that I've observed is that many people were telling us, well, look, Vietnamese people won't tell you the right email addresses and the right phone numbers because they don't have email addresses and these things. I was like, but look, look at the traffic of Vietnam, look at the online traffic, look at the social networks. It's booming. So if those people are online, how come they don't have email addresses? And the second comment that we were getting was that, but you will get fake email addresses and so on. What surprised me a lot is that we get better quality data than we get back home. So the ratio of the correct information that we collect from client is much better than even back home. The reason why this is happening, in my theory, is that the solution that we provide to the client is a really, as Nugi also mentioned, it's very hard to find the right information about the product you're looking for. And we make it to the client so easy to understand. We provide the information in very clear and simple manner that basically this makes people to trust you more, and then they are willing to share their contact information. Yeah. This is, let's say, learning from my side over the last 2 months.
Right. Absolutely. Trust is a major issue here in Vietnam. So if you can build trust, you have that advantage. And so especially with financial information, personal information is quite sensitive. As long as we're on that topic, can you share at all about your policy about personal information?
About the personal information, since our goal is to be the independent player in Vietnam, so that we're not dependent on any bank, and we're providing the transparent information for the people. So do you mean this more like an internally way or an external way?
I mean, if I'm a potential user of your service, I'm giving you potentially sensitive information. I need to trust that you're treating that information appropriately. I'm sure you run into this in every market you're looking at.
Exactly.
So my question is along those lines of, what is your policy and how do you showcase that to your users?
Actually, like the platform which we built, we tested somehow in those past few years, so it's very reliable. And if we go to the more phases, actually, when you go to call center, there was always risk that person, as a call center person, can take out the contacts and export it somewhere. So actually, our platform doesn't allow to the person. There's only the click call button, so he won't actually see all the information because it's hidden. So as an administrator, you can see it, but as a call center person, there's actually only call button and then push delete.
So you have protections built into the system so that only relevant information is shown to people?
Yeah. Look, from the FinGo side, basically the platform that we run back in Europe is under supervision of the national bank. So basically, as you probably know, the regulation of the financial sector in Europe is pretty strict. So we wouldn't be able to run such a platform back in Europe unless we would meet very strict guidelines and regulations. And as Nugi exactly said, the way the platform is built, the way it operates is that the individual users are unable to get to a large chunk of data. They only get to the data they need to see. So if you're a call center agent and you're calling a lead, you basically get only to see the numbers that you have obviously dialed, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to dial the person. But you're unable to export a list of people. You're unable to basically misuse an information and in a larger scale.
So you're saying that you have built-in systems that will help restrict people from doing things that are very common in Vietnam, which is taking lists and selling them to competitors, selling them to spammers, these kind of things, that it should not be possible in your system due to these built-in safeguards.
It's absolutely impossible because there are basically two people, company who can access the whole data and the system. All the other people have different roles in the system, which basically are restricted to do what you're describing.
Right. Even though, like when the call center passes it to a sales agent, he can actually, after he accepts the customer, he can actually see his detail. So it's not like he goes to the database and see what leads he got and he send it to everyone. Right. He actually needs to accept it, and we have a daily limits for the person. Like the better the sales you do, the more leads you can accept. Yeah. So it's we minimize the risks, and sometimes we actually find or we see that people are asking us like, why we're doing this, why we have only those rights, and we're explaining them like this platform is from Europe, so it has some standards in terms of security, so you have to get used to it.
Right. Well, it also sounds like you have an incentive scheme in place where it's not about how many people you call, but it's how many you convert, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's not about the quantity of your calls, it's actually about the quality of your work, right? And I think for Vietnam, that's a different mindset for sales agents because they usually are just volume based, right? So there's a different mindset, and hopefully it's one that sticks. From someone who gets a lot of spam like myself, I appreciate not getting the spam when I'm not actually interested in the product. Back to the users though, what are the top 3 things you've learned so far about your users?
The top 3 things, the probably main thing, we have to give them clear and transparent information. They don't like, for example, if you give them some information, there's going to be small note that, for example, your email will be sent to this agency, or your email will be traded somewhere. So the first thing is be very clear and transparent. Second thing, you have to use very common language. So everything, all the materials you write or everything you're communicating, you have to actually go through the copywriter and write in simple language. Since, to be honest, the education in Vietnam is not that high yet, so you can't use the financial terms. You have to really explain all those stuff to people so they understand what you're talking about or what service you're providing. To be honest, those are the 2, like the main thing which I'm seeing now.
Okay. Is there any demographic information that you can share that would be interesting?
Or Vietnam as a country, they skip the laptop generation. Sure. Usually all countries, they have desktop, laptop, and have smartphones. So Vietnam somehow transformed from the desktop directly to smartphones.
So are you seeing this reflected in your traffic as well? I mean, I'm sure you're tracking how people are accessing your service.
80% of the traffic actually comes from mobile,
Right.
which is basically the opposite, which we are used back home.
Right.
So, mobile first strategy is a must, and, mobile optimization is basically the key thing, and
Right.
you have to be doing all the time.
I remember looking at the FinGo website on my desktop, and it was very minimalist. And it looked I could tell already that it was designed to look better on the mobile phone because of that. Are you seeing the expected, say, age demographics and gender demographics that you predicted?
Yes, actually, this is our target group, because those people, they're the active working group.
Mm-hmm.
They're familiar with the technology. Those people, they own almost 100 million smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing everything with smartphones. And you can see in the whole Vietnam that the fintech area is very young. It's probably 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And all those companies, they're trying to do the non-cash programs, non-cash application. And a lot of the fintech companies, they focus on finance. Plus, the government supports it pretty good. Recently, they just supported the non-cash program from 2016 to 20. So 4 years program, which will push Vietnamese people to the non-cash products. Because Vietnam now is on the e-commerce boom. So the government is supporting it, and they're somehow pushing them to get the credit cards, get the bank accounts. Since now there's almost 100 million people, but only 4 or 5% of them owns credit cards. Right. 8% of them have the bank account. So this is a really good time for us as a financial player to give them the solution, or give them a platform where they can find the best suitable card or best suitable bank account.
Okay. So what are the next 6 months of development for FinGo looking like?
So our plan, we have actually 2 steps. The first one, to expand the network as much as possible, so people can reach us wherever in Vietnam they are. And the second one, we're building the education series. So or marketing. We're going to actually go through the financial topics, which are a little bit complicated, and we're going to make them more clear for people. For example, we're going to create series about what's the difference between credit card or debit card, what to pay attention when you're getting a loan, and make those things in very easy ways. So infographics, blog articles, and give it to people or to the public so they can educate themselves in terms of personal finance or finance in general. So combination of those 2 services will actually push us somehow into the lead of the market. And there will be an additional value for people to go through the FinGo, not only to get a service, but also to educate themselves.
Okay. And I don't think I asked you before, but where is FinGo available in Vietnam right now?
Currently, we are mainly in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, because we want to test and do all the feedbacks when the platform or the FinGo service will work smoothly on 100%, and then we're going to expand to rest of the Vietnam.
Okay. From my side, the processes are being designed so that the service is truly available all across Vietnam. So that's to the later point. To the first point that Nugi commented, the educational role of FinGo is basically an integral part and a very, I would call it almost a backbone of our marketing strategy whenever we go and whatever we do. So even back home, all the marketing activities are basically focusing on providing our clients some interesting information, which then builds the trust of them sharing their sensitive information with us, and also it makes them to come back whenever they want or need some new type of service, because they simply know that you will help them do the best. So this is the core strategy.
Okay. And so for Finology itself, what are some of the most exciting developments that you guys are working on in terms of the platform?
In terms of the platform, we are now building a next generation product catalog. Product catalog is maybe a bit technical term, but what it essentially means is that we want to enable our clients not to look for a credit card or a cash loan or a mortgage. Because that's not the need of the client. Credit card is not a need of the client. Credit card is just a way of getting some credit for some purpose. Instead, we are building a new generation of the comparator, which will enable the user to basically select some criteria of what he's looking for, and based on that, we will also select him the right suitable product. So, for example, a cash loan, credit card, and mortgage are all lending products. They have all one common or a few common attributes, which is the interest rate, which is the amount to be bought. A lot of people simply don't know which product is the right for them, and they might do a mistake and then overpay on interest. So basically, as I said before, our role is to educate them. Our role is to select them the right product for the need they have, and this is what the next generation of our product catalog will enable in, we estimate, like 12 months from now.
I would call it probably a cross-product comparator or something.
Cross-product comparator.
All right. And so I know Vietnam's not your only destination in Asia. Can you talk about your Asian strategy a little bit for Finology?
Yeah. For Finology, to be very honest, what we are doing here in Vietnam wasn't originally our plan. Our plan was to come here and find a suitable partner with already an existing distribution network for financial products and offer them our platform as something which will help them to become more effective, generate more sales, and increase their margins. However, after several months of work, we haven't been able to find the right partner for this, and so we decided to build the physical network ourselves, and that is where FinGo comes. However, going forward, we would like to make our model more replicable, more expandable to other countries. So obviously, Philippines and Indonesia are our next targets, where we have some good contacts also to the banking sector, and we would like to move there. But we would like to really do the research first and select the right partner, which is already an existing operation, and so that we can roll out the project much faster than we have done with FinGo.
Okay. So if we want to learn more about Finology, where should we go?
You should go to finology.com, where is an email, info@finology.com. This email goes right to me, so if anyone is interested in some live demo of the platform or is generally interested in the topic, they can definitely talk to me. I will be more than happy to have a chat with them over Skype call or in person when I'm here in Asia, and I'm here very often.
Okay. And for FinGo?
For FinGo, you can go to our website, fingo.vn, or write me on nugi@fingo.vn. At the end.
Nugi.
Yeah, Nugi. And I'll be happy to help or reply to all the questions or comments you have.
Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your story. I think you've got a product that is necessary in this market for sure. And I'm happy to hear that you're very customer focused rather than, say, bank product focused, because that'll help a lot of people. Thank you once again, and Happy New Year and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.